Achievements are why I'm single. Hi everyone, this is yours eternally, Kirby. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I am joined by kind regards, Matt.
Howdy.
And cheers, Cameron.
Hello!
Here at Real Gamerscore, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and trying to compete in a genre we have no business being in. This week we talk about digital event matchmaking, the amazing races, and going to the pub and waiting for this to all blow over. But first, here's the song of the week.
Sometimes I feel I've got to play my games, I've got to beat my games from the list that just keeps on growing on. The vids we share seem to go nowhere, and I've lost my guide for those missables that I just can't find. Once I beamed of you, now I'll pay for you. This tainted list I'm given, I earn 'em all, but here just more come. Take my cash and oh god, now there's more DLC, oh, DLC.
That's exactly how I feel about DLC right now.
Yeah, I've been burned too many times before. You know, it keeps coming back.
Yeah. Because I finished compiling my list of how much I need to buy everything, and then like there were some games where I'm like, I wish Past Chin hadn't started that because he didn't care about DLC, and the DLC was delisted before you started the game. Not happy with myself. But you know, if anyone happens to own Marvel Avengers Infinity Gauntlet whatever on the 360 and has the DLC and happens to want to visit me, you know, I wouldn't be against it.
Once international travel restrictions are lifted, I might be able to make a quick trip over.
Oh, good. What about people who are very good at Fight Night Champion? Is anyone here?
I don't think there's anyone.
What's the DLC for that?
No.
There's 2 sets of different boxes that you have to beat.
I could probably just bring out my massive tub of 360 games and something would be in there.
With DLC?
Yeah,
No.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, the DLC is delisted. That's what I'm getting at. I need someone with the DLC who can come over so I can play their DLC.
That would want to come to Darwin.
Yes.
Everyone wants to come. They just don't know it. They're just not allowed because of the coronavirus. Everyone wants to come because there's none here.
That's definitely it.
Oh, I definitely don't have the Trello up, so I'm vamping. Now that I've realised my mistake.
All right. So if you know what the song of the week is, that beautiful rendition that I just did, send your answer into Real Gamerscore. That's Real Gamerscore with a 5 instead of an S on True Achievements.
Yep. And if you know what the first song was, the one where we had a little hiccup in the middle, you won't have heard it. If you know what it was, clearly I've done my job wrong and didn't cut it out, so congratulations on that too. Moving on from that, you can enter on trueachievements.com, or you can send your answer to the Real Gamerscore account on Twitter. Has anyone ever done that, Cameron?
The only message
you could be first.
Trimmy. Yeah,
you could be the first person to enter on Twitter.
You'd
be the only person other than Trimmy to ever message us. Okay. Or you can join us on Discord and you can message me there with your answer. Discord.io/RealGamerscore. We do have... Do you remember last week I teased that patron that definitely used their name and I didn't know who they were?
Yep.
Well, I do now. It's Ghostly Shinobi, who has recently joined our Discord as well. So thank you very much. Man, I hope I said that. Yep. I got the right person. Yep, Ghostly Shinobi, thank you very much for being a patron. It's awesome. We thank you. Enjoy all the outtakes that have now all gone up onto patreon.com.
All on time.
Yep, well, it exists. It's not after March. I mean, it's not after April yet. April's not due yet, so we're good. And you got the listen to the Lost Levels episode, the episode that never was, because of
Alex.
I don't want to say it was his fault, but it was definitely
Alex's fault. It was 100%. Like, it might have been my file that was missing, but it was definitely Alex's fault.
No problems before he showed up. He showed up, it was terrible. No problems after he showed up. I'm not saying anything, but if you have understood what I've insinuated, then it's Alex's fault.
I'm no scientist, but
statistically speaking,
yeah, sounds pretty conclusive to me.
Yeah. So yeah, he will. He's also giving us enough to get into the giveaway that we do. So he'll be ready to go next month. Moving on, the random to-do list. We have I know what game it was. I absolutely did not think of what the challenge is yet. So good work, me. But the game that you could win for the month of April is Save Your Nuts. Don't really want to search up nuts on True Achievements, but I will. Okay, let's have a look.
Tremy said it's full of humour.
Yeah, let's do nuts. Nuts is fine. We can get that.
Yeah.
Nuts is fine? Yeah, nuts is better than save.
Yeah, let's do
okay. Yes. So there are 3 titles. One is a compound word, but that doesn't really technically. So there are 3 other titles.
There's one answer.
Okay, alright, there's one answer. It has to have the word nuts by itself, not in another word. There is one answer. So send your answer for the other title with the word nuts in it to the random to-do list account on trueachievements.com. That's random to-do list, all one word, and earn an achievement in your random to-do list for the month of April, which, we've gotten a few more participants because of the crabs. Crabs ends in 3 days, so maybe people are looking for the fix. If you know someone who's looking for a fix of crabs, send them to the random to-do list. It's not quite the same, but it's just infectious.
We will supply as many crabs as you need.
Up to 25.
Up to 25. I mean, of course. Sorry, crab or nearest crab substitute, as your local Chinese buffet will tell you.
Yep. We're going to serve Canadian lobster as main lobster. Lobster Americanus. It's all the same breed. That's a really old reference that people won't get because no one ever watched that show. Okay. Huh? What?
I got no idea what you're on about. I'm just appreciating the irony of that.
Super obscure reference. Like, it is a good show, but no one watched it, guaranteed. I'm definitely looking at the template and not the episode, because I'm like, there's no news here. I don't know what Cameron's done. Moving on to the news that definitely does exist and is not in the template. Gamescom is going digital this year, is what I'm hoping the title Digital Gamescom means.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
You got it in one, Chin. You know what? All it took was 87 episodes, and you've able to surmise an entire news story from just reading the thing that's in the Trello card instead of actually clicking on it, taking 5 seconds.
I clicked on the story, and it started to load, but I realized I was up to the point where I needed to talk about it. So I just took a stab in the dark. Okay, yeah, so, geez, has the major events ban in Germany only just happened, or they're now saying that they'll go digital because that happened in the past?
I think
it's still under effect.
I think the announcement was like a fortnight ago saying about the events, but then the information from Gamescom was like a week ago in response to the news the week before.
Yeah, so yeah. I believe what the thought was is that they were hoping that this would all blow over by the time they would get around to Gamescom. In the same way that E3 was thinking, and same way that a lot of these conventions were thinking, okay, because when was
maybe
Gamescom?
If we hold out hope.
Slated.
They were just going to go to the pub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
and this is, I'd argue this is a bigger deal than E3 not happening this year.
I would agree.
I mean, Gamescom is not so much for the wider audience, but it does a lot. Like, it shows so many more reveals and stuff. It's not. I don't know. it's not as well known, I guess, because it's not American. But I feel like it's a bigger show than E3 is.
I mean, it literally is. They have a lot more people. Like, it's almost hellish in how many people they actually go to Gamescom. Like, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I know Blizzard or Activision Blizzard will have an entire section for their, like, a huge section, probably the size of E3, for their stuff alone. It's crazy the amount of. It's all Overwatch. It's been Overwatch for like the last 3 years. But it's ridiculous how much they do there. But yeah, Germany has banned any major events until the end of August, which obviously Gamescom will get interrupted by. But they'll do it digitally, which is not super surprising. That's kind of where we expected most of the bigger things to go. I mean, it's still disappointing that, because I think the hands-on experience is what a lot of these places sort of thrive on, being able to talk to for the developers, being able to talk to the public directly and get them, because seeing a game, for example, something recently that I've been watching about Aliens Colonial Marines, seeing that game was a very different experience to getting a hands-on experience with the game. So yeah, maybe not the best way we could go about it is just showing off the games.
But again, because they announced back in April that essentially they weren't going to postpone it, because they were like, well, because when is Gamescom usually held? That's August.
I want to say August, September, something like that.
Yeah, late August.
Yeah. So essentially, they said, hey, we're not going to do this, but now that this announcement's going on in Germany that they're banning all major events till the end of August, they've had no choice. But just in terms of like how much this is going to potentially displace the industry. E3, which we'll talk about as the biggest gaming event of the year, has 66,000 people roughly attend it on a yearly basis. Gamescom is sitting at last year was 373,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's 6 times as big as
exactly.
in terms of
orders
traffic.
of magnitude bigger. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So. And obviously, it tends to be the European equivalent, where you get a lot of European journalists, people who don't always fly over to the States to do E3, go to this instead. So, you have your E3 coverage where you talk about the game and then you play it at Gamescom, was usually the way things used to go.
Yeah.
With E3 basically being cancelled for this year, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think we need to see what happens with E3 with announcements, and then. How does that affect what they do at Gamescom? Do they decide to split the announcements? Because like I said, it used to be announce then play. Now it's now is it announce and then announce some more, or is it announce and then show some more? But like that time span between the two is pretty short. So I can't imagine that they would have a build ready in July that they wouldn't already have ready in August.
Yeah, and even if you do, what is there to show? Like you've announced it and you're obviously showing whatever.
Yeah, and it's not hands-on.
There's no reason to not show it at E3 to save it for Gamescom now.
Exactly, and especially if you don't need E3 for, you don't need to have the big, like you have the big press conferences and that's pretty much it. Like the rest of E3 doesn't exist because there's no floor experience, there's no journalists and people meeting with developers, there's no developers meeting with publishers. Like it's just none of the stuff that actually is the reason for these shows is actually going to be happening. So this digital stuff really feels like kind of like a band-aid on a stab wound at this stage. Like I understand they have to do something because they're a company and they need to keep running and they have to put on something. Like in the same way that stuff that we're doing and all these companies are doing during these lockdown periods or during the coronavirus stuff is to say, hey, we need to have alternatives. We need to have, like, even if it's not the same thing, we have to do something because we need to keep the wheels turning. But I just, I think, I'm wondering how much they realize that this is pretty much going to be a non-starter. I don't know. What do you think, Cameron?
Yeah, I'm just your analogy, like putting a band-aid on a stab wound, is 100% correct. Like, but I mean, what's the alternative here? What else could they do? I feel like digital's probably the best way to pivot, but I mean, I'm just trying to think, building on top of that, what additionally they could do and what it's going to look at. Like this, Like, everybody I talk to, it's just, these are unprecedented times. We haven't ever experienced anything like this before. I mean, how do a lot of these companies bounce back?
Yeah. I mean, like, is it even worth the companies actually doing anything for Gamescom? Like, I'm sure they had plans in place, right, to do the physical show, but when you don't have to do a physical build, and you just have to show a trailer or show some, in-game footage, and you don't have to have actually people hands-on playing your game, potentially breaking it, you don't have to organize flights and travel and transportation. At that stage, what's the point?
Yeah, I can imagine there's going to be a lot more of the, like Cyberpunk did, where they have a playable demo in the sense that someone has played it, and they're showing off the gameplay more, and they're showing off every single gameplay mechanic, because that's what you do in these things, because that's what a real player would do. They would try every button, like, they'd go into a fight and think, this is where I should throw my grenade and knife here, instead of just shooting everything like, or going one style like a player would. They'll do everything.
I mean, the alternative is that they just play that footage of the journalist trying to play Cuphead just on a loop for an hour.
Oh, let's not. Oh my god. That went on sale recently. On Switch.
That GIF showed up again on somewhere, and I just looked at it and I just was like, because it's been a while since I've seen it. I was like, it wasn't that bad, right? And I went back and watched it. No, it was pretty.
It's 10 minutes of them trying to get past the tutorial, and it's the most.
Not even that. Just trying to double jump when the mechanic doesn't exist.
Yeah, trying to jump and then dash and then dash and then dash and then jump and then the parry bit. Like, it was.
They could not get past the parry bit. They could not do it. Anyway, speaking of journal, no, that doesn't make any sense of a segue.
It's fine. Just force it in. It's fine.
Speaking of journalists, they often talk to developers.
Speaking of news, we've got some more.
And developers have gotten an overhaul on TrueAchievements.com in the way of having developer and publisher hubs. So previously, you would go on a game and say, you do this game's by Radalaika, because that's literally the only thing I could think of, because I was just looking at the board. This game's by Radalaika. Let's see what other games they've made. You click on their published by, and it'll just have a list of games and everything like that. Now they've got more of a hub, so you can see kind of like a series. You can see how many games you've played, what your Gamerscore is out of the total, and what your True Achievement score is out of the total. And then from there you can look at a leaderboard to see where you are placed against everyone else. So I've moved down some spots in the Radalaika board, because presumably another game's come out, and so everyone else has done it and I haven't done them yet, so I've been pushed down. But I'm in 138th with 54 games 54 games played, and what is that, 53,280 Gamerscore. So nearly 54 completions. Just stupid I Am Me that I don't like, and I hate it.
Wait, did they do I Am Me?
Yeah, that cat puzzle game.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, that was them. I really don't like that. I can't play that for more than 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. It's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I've only done 19 of them, so I'm scrub tier apparently.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna, once I finish playing them all, which I promised Reptar on Ice that I would get them all done to be top of that leaderboard, I will be one of, how many have done it? 30 people have done one more dungeon now. One of 30 who could potentially be top of the board. So that's exciting. Oh, that's because Redemption just did it. Good on Redemption. It's an easy game. Just was hard at the start. So now there's leaderboards that you can compare with all the publishers and developers. So you can look at Artifacts Mundi, you can look at EA, you can look at Capcom, whatever you like. We are wanting to do stuff a little bit more segmented, like a franchise. So EA maybe have published 50 different thousand franchises, but you can see a franchise specifically that isn't really a series, perhaps. Stuff like that. But it's at the moment, none of those leaderboards are trackable. So I don't know if they ever will be trackable. I'm not sure what the plan is with these, but having them out there also implemented us to do multiple developers or publishers onto games. So if a game was mostly developed by someone and then handed off for the last 20%, typically it's whoever has their last hand in the cookie jar that gets the label. So at least on the Microsoft Store. So now we can show both developers or multiple publishers if someone's done a physical release and the other handled it digitally, like with Samurai Showdown, the recent one. All the physical publishing was handled by someone else, and that meant that they couldn't be ID at Xbox because that company was not indie. So even though digitally it was all done by an indie company, the physical copy disallowed them from that. But anyway, hopefully they'll be tracking, because I know that's what people care about more, is tracking them on the leaderboards. We'll see what happens. It's a nice step forward, and something that at least we on the staff side have been sort of asking for a while, because it's always nice to see where you are on boards. If they were turned trackable, is there any developer or publisher either of you would like to track?
Not really. I mean, I don't really go in for... I know this sounds ridiculously stupid given my Gamerscore, but I don't really go in for the leaderboard tracking all that much. I track myself on the Gamerscore leaderboard, and that's pretty much it. And I guess the New Zealand leaderboard, just to make sure no one sneaks up on me.
Yeah.
But
never saw him coming from 600,000 games threw away.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look. You know what? You take one short holiday, and suddenly someone finishes 600 Ratalaika and sometimes you games, and they're just bearing down on you. I can't really think of much. I mean, I might be interested in seeing what Ubisoft's been doing, maybe, or something along those lines, just because it's just I play a lot of their games. I mean, Square Enix maybe as well. I'd probably take a look at it, but I don't know how much tracking I'd actually be interested in.
Yeah, fair enough. Cameron?
I'll probably just keep on working on my Playground game stuff. I mean, it's all racing until they add... Sorry, you go.
Sorry.
I was going to say it's all racing until they add the Fable.
Yeah, I was going to say, Playground games, you're basically just doing the Horizon specifically, aren't you?
Yeah. Like
getting rid of the motorsport stuff.
Yep, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. And you get that nice, easy... actually, did Playground do that Fast and Furious one?
Yeah, they did.
Did they really?
Well, they did the Xbox One version. I'm not sure about the 360. Because when I search... Yeah, same. When I searched it, it's just got the Xbox One, 2 to 4, and Horizon on the 360. It doesn't have Horizon 2 on the 360 or... the Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious for 360.
Apparently, it was apparently created by Sumo Digital, for the 360 version, I think. Yeah, so only the Xbox One version.
Sumo Digital.
Only the Xbox One version.
Weird.
I mean, the game's identical, so maybe they just ported it, I guess.
Yeah, it could have been a port. Yeah.
But,
so I don't know how the multiple developers or publishers will affect those leaderboard stuff, but not a big deal. What is a big deal, or at least it was until the title... the title led me to believe this was a big deal. As it turns out, it's not really. Minecraft Dungeons, which comes out pretty soon?
In the next few weeks, I want to say.
It comes out...
next month.
26th of May. So, yeah, a month away. Yeah. That's still pretty soon, relatively speaking.
I mean, what are days in this post-apocalyptic hellscape that we live in?
Yeah, look, it's not like I'm going to be going outside my house before it comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Minecraft Dungeons will not have online matchmaking, is the title of this article, which made me think that it was all going to be local stuff. I was like, oh, that's... okay, that's a decision you've made, sure. I'm not really a fan, because on the off chance I wanted to play with someone, whatever. But no, the article goes on to explain that you can play with your friends online, you just can't do literally matchmaking quick play, join a random game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was when I read it too, because I was thinking about how back in the day when Modern Warfare didn't have dedicated servers, so you had to do matchmaking. So you couldn't pick from a list, so you had to matchmake with people. But if you can't matchmake and you can't pick from a list, then you just got to have friends.
Yeah.
And if you don't have friends, well...
Welcome to our Discord.
Yeah, come join our Discord, where you can find lots of people who won't play Minecraft Dungeons with you.
Yeah, like heaps of us. Like, there's so many of us who will just completely ignore you and not play that game with you.
The majority of us will not be playing Minecraft Dungeons with you.
Although apparently the achievements do look pretty easy.
It's okay, Trimmy, I think we've still got it.
Level 50 might be the only... I think level 50 looks like it'd be the grindiest. I don't think anything else looks... It depends on the drop rate of emeralds, which I presume is the currency. Completing all levels. Completing the final boss on hard... I assume that's the hardest difficulty as well.
Apocalypse, yeah?
Yeah, Apocalypse. Again, presume that's hardest difficulty. And, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Someone's already reached level 25, though, so... The one person that's played it. Who is that? Oh, Sax. Right, the developer of... Presumably.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It will scale, though, so... Depending on the number of players, loot and enemy count will scale, so you won't be at a disadvantage. I don't know if loot means quality or amount dropped. Because they say you won't be at a disadvantage if you're playing in single player mode, which makes me think it's just less loot dropping. But then the more loot drops, the more chance you have of finding something good.
So is the loot maybe the loot's instance then to whatever?
Yeah, it could be.
So you only get your drop, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and crossplay is coming at a later date. So the other really interesting thing with this was I can't remember where it was. It was on one of their websites, but you can essentially buy like what would be the equivalent of Minecraft Java edition for this, where it's not Windows 10 Store, but it's Windows 10, and it doesn't get you the Windows Store purchase. So you just buying a completely separate version that's not Xbox integrated natively. And I guess you can set it up if you want crossplay and stuff. Weird, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know why they.
I could understand.
Why would they do it that way?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I could understand PlayStation, I want to say a proper platform like Windows 10 isn't. But if you're putting it on Windows 10. It's in your store, right? They're not putting it on Epic Games. It's just an executable file that you can purchase, I guess. Not 100% sure how that's going to be implemented, but that's really weird to me when I heard about it.
Strange.
Again, assuming this is not a 700-hour slog, are you interested at all, Matt and Cameron?
I would be, but obviously I'm not buying anything this year. But
it's in Game Pass.
Yeah, that's kind of what. But we know what happens when games go into Game Pass. They usually get riddled with DLC the minute they come out of Game Pass. However, this won't leave Game Pass, probably.
It's Minecraft, so
in theory,
it's a safe bet.
In theory, I'm gonna have to weigh this one up. I don't know. Well, I may tread carefully into it, but it might be a good co-op game to play through.
Yep, I think maybe June is when I'd start it, because that's when time estimates and stuff will be out properly.
Yeah.
And someone will have created a world that you can get all the achievements in. Right?
That's how Minecraft works. I'm pretty sure that's the whole Minecraft experience, is that no one actually plays it except for one person.
Yep. Sounds accurate to me. Okay, Cameron?
Yeah, me and the family are going to play it. Me and Trimmy having a good discussion.
Are you going to play it launch-ish?
If it's in Game Pass at launch, which it will be, as long as our schedules tee up. Yeah, big if. If it gets delayed again, that's always a question. But I will. Yeah, me and Nate will probably do it, and I will probably get a few other people if they're interested in the Discord.
All right. Definitely didn't mention that I was interested, so you can go stuff yourself.
Are you part of the family?
At a later date, so you can play with all. Well, you can play with all your PlayStation friends because that's all you've got now, Cameron. That's all you've got left.
Hey, I didn't have any friends to begin with, so that's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's okay. It's a weird statement. Minecraft Dungeons is designed to be played together with your friends, either on a comfy couch or in a comfy online session. That's.
I don't know. That kind of sounds like someone's asking me ASL, and I don't know. That seems kind of weird phrasing.
That's a weird way to say it. Like, it's designed to play with your friends. Because
MRF.
And that makes me sound like loot isn't instant, and that I can steal loot from people, and you, or there's friendly fire or something, so you would just get griefed.
I don't know. I think part of it is that they're banking on the fact that Minecraft itself is a very social experience in general. And they're trying to invoke that feeling of playing Minecraft with your friends to say, oh, this is just like that, except it's a brand new game. Pay us some money for it, but also get your friends to pay some money for it too. Like, I think that's I don't really think it means that much. It's really just marketing spiel.
Yeah, no, it's just a weird.
It is a bit odd.
People in marketing talk weird. Just listen to you.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, look, it's 100% correct. We talk total bollocks all the time.
Yeah. All right. We have a slight topic. I think maybe depending on time, we might do one a week or something. We'll see. Just a little bite-sized topic. Mm-hmm. But we have the 5 deadly sins of game attractiveness. So this is a blog that Tarragon sent us, and essentially it's sort of 5 things you should not be. Oh god, I've skipped one. I've skipped the first one. Maybe I haven't skipped it.
No, there's 5. There's 5.
There's definitely 5.
I've got them here.
Yeah, you tell me because I'm clearly.
So the first one is basically these are quote unquote sins from indie games, especially around how people perceive them, both from like the public, but also like the publishers. So
sorry. I found them. Sorry, I thought there was a picture subtitle.
No, it's the one above the picture.
Yeah.
So, I figured we would just go through these 5 and we could just talk about them and get an idea of what we think and like, is this stuff true? Right? Because I mean, again, this is just an opinion piece.
Yeah, and how big of an impact it has for us when we look at a game, and how big an impact it has on what we think the impact it has on the wider community. So, first one. You're trying to compete in a genre you don't have business playing in. So, for example, you're making a third-person fantasy hack and slash adventure, not unlike Darksiders 3. Weird to go with Darksiders 3, but sure.
I mean, it does. Yeah, I'm wondering if is that an affiliate link there or?
Yeah. All right. With this style of 3D action game with sophisticated character models and animations, you're going to be compared to Darksiders, God of War, etc., even if you're a small indie. I think it's human nature to compare things that we're familiar with.
Of course.
So, every single game after the first one I've ever played, every single game was compared to stuff I've already done. So, totally reliable delivery service. Good game in its own regard. Instantly compared it to Human Fall Flat because of the physics engine and the style of moving and how you pick up things. I'm going to compare it to Human Fall Flat.
Yep.
And Gang Beasts and whatever else is similar. I think a lot of people still will take into account the cost. So, you know, the indie game, this is a lot like Darksiders 3, but, it's not really as good. But it's also only $20 and an indie game, so I'm going to cut it some slack.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I was going to say, I think that's something that we probably all think. Do you agree, Cameron?
I think that comes down to, like, maturity levels, too. Like, where, we're all adults playing games now, where
quote-unquote adults, but sure.
Quote-unquote adults, but we've got, like, a resume
two of us have a kid.
We've got a resume behind us of like at least a few hundred, if not 1,000 games, as compared to your 13-year-old playing Fortnite that would just go, well, this is free or this is on the cheap, and not take those things into consideration. I think it comes down to maturity level, and really, if you're like it's saying, you're trying to compete in a genre you don't have business playing in. If you're doing if you're an indie game that's small and that, but you're doing it well, and necessarily it might be a miniature version of something like Darksiders 3, it's still, as long as it's working effectively, then it's all good.
Yeah, because I get what you mean, right? Is that someone who doesn't know much about how games are made, and honestly, we're far from experts, but at least have an idea of the differences between an indie development studio and a something run by EA or Activision. You get an idea of where the money gets spent, right? It's usually in graphics, or and it's usually in assets, and then it's usually in things like voice acting, or
audio design.
Audio design, it's the level of polish that you usually get out of the thing, and the expansiveness of how many assets you need to make for something. Obviously, that gap is getting smaller and smaller with the availability of tools at an affordable price. But that's more for sort of mid-tier developers rather than one person or two people teams. But I guess go ahead.
And I guess I get that in the sense that if you are, and some of these genres are bigger genres in terms of what the game needs to be. So, like an action-adventure game needs to be relatively big for most people. Like, if you're a 3-hour action-adventure game, people are they're going to naturally feel it was too short because it's not the 50-hour slog of Darksiders 3 or whatever. So there are genres that are better suited to being shorter games, puzzle games, things of that nature. But I don't feel that should stop someone trying to do a game in a genre they enjoy.
Exactly.
Make it a roguelite, and your replayability values there, and you can set your prices through the roof.
Yeah, I was going to say, just make a platformer, make 5 levels, and make the 4th level just impossible to get through, and people will have hours of fun. I mean, I think it's a little rich saying don't compete in a genre you have no business playing in. I mean, it comes off as kind of elitist. I understand kind of what they're saying in that it's like, look, you're going to get compared to other experiences, but just because yours isn't as good or as expansive as whatever doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't do it. I mean, again, this article was talking about making sure that people buy it, which is different, right? There's a huge difference between critical success and financial success. And I think that what we need to keep in mind is that this article was mostly talking about financial success. Because you can have the best game in the world, and even if it's think about Portal, right? Portal is a 2-3 hour game, maybe, if that. It is, and it's polished really well. But it is one concept just done so well over and over and over again and changed up. But if you just had that game on its own and someone sold it for $20 and you didn't know it was Valve, it was just some random indie made this game, and you go into a portal and you solve physics puzzles. Saying, okay, well that's it was a critical success because everyone loved it, which is great. But it needs to be a financial success, which is part of the reason they bundled it with something like the Orange Box, where it was a better value deal with Half-Lifes and Team Fortress 2 and all that sort of stuff. Because they were like, well, we know people will probably enjoy this, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. But in terms of actually,
but they're not paying $40 for it.
Exactly, that doesn't make the money, and short games do not make money in that same way. They just can't, because and obviously, we shouldn't all just always be thinking about length of game equals value, but there is an argument to be made for saying, well, look, it's a bit different for us where you pay $5 for a like a game, you know what you're getting into, and that's part of the experience is to finish the game.
The value we're getting from that is different to a normal mainstream person playing that is not an achievement hunter.
Exactly, because and someone who buys 10 games a year versus someone like us who buys 100 games a year. The value add from how long a game is to how how hard the achievements are, to what the replayability is, to how the game looks, to how the game sounds. Like, all of these stuffs are factored in differently depending on your exposure to video games as a whole, but also how many of them you have and what the opportunity cost is of not playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other genre they highlight is the survival horror genre, which I think this fits a bit more, because a bad survival horror game is a... don't know how to say this properly. Like, it's very clear when a survival horror game is not done well.
Yes, we've played most of them.
Because, exactly, most of them. So pretty much no one should be making survival horror games ever. But, it'll be the hiding mechanic is terrible, or the enemy that the AI is broken on whatever you're hiding from, typically.
Yeah, either it's too good or it's too bad, or yeah.
Yeah, the lighting and atmosphere is poor because either you can't see enough or you see too much. It's very hard to get that perfect balance. I think actually the survival horror argument is a lot stronger than the others, because you have to kind of put more time into it to make sure that, because everything has to work. If you're playing a Darksiders 3 and the combat animations weren't very good, like, they're a little janky, you can get past that because everything else is right. If the lighting is terrible in a survival horror game, even if everything else is great, it's virtually unplayable.
Yeah,
it has ruined the game. Like,
yeah. I think that something like, and I mean, I don't want to bash Darksiders 3 too much, or action adventure games, but action adventure games tend to be pretty rote in terms of they're a amalgamate, because I mean, action adventure is literally just taking two genres and smash them together and then using that as a catch-all phrase for a bunch of different titles that almost don't really fit it.
Yeah. It's fighting with a story.
Exactly, essentially.
In a world.
Yes, in a world. I don't know, like, it's exactly, it's kind of just saying, but like, survival horror is a very well-defined genre in terms of it needs to have some sort of threat, it needs to have some sort of scare, some sort of horror element, combat or no combat, creating an action adventure game is bringing pieces together. Creating a survival horror game is like an art. Like, it's much more like cooking than baking. You don't just follow the instructions and everything works out fine. Like, you actually have to. There's like, atmosphere is so important to a game like that. That if you don't have and some of that is budget. Some of it will be lighting tech, AI programming, sound design especially is a huge one for that. And then also just graphically usually tends to be quite important. Although you can usually get away with that. Which is a lot of indie devs have made.
If it's dark enough.
If it's dark enough, or you go the 2D pixel route, because like some of the scariest games I've played are like 2D side scrollers in pixel art form, but they have really good sound design. They have really suspenseful AI and music and events. And they understand.
The scariest games I've played is everything.
Yeah, that's true. You're probably not the best example though, Chen. Or maybe you are the very best example. I don't know.
The scariest thing I've ever played, I've ever experienced in a game was hearing an elevator that I called myself dinging behind me.
Was it Dead Space?
Dead Space.
Dead Space, yeah, love it. I know exactly what you're talking about too.
That horror game stream's coming soon, yeah?
It's like 5 seconds into the game as well. I love it.
I've done one. I need to do another one. Everything's not set up. It'll happen. Anyway.
But yeah, anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Cameron, do you have anything you would like to add on that, or any thoughts?
Pretty much spot on there. Like, hit the nail on the
so,
head.
Yeah, let us know in the Discord what you think. Do you think it's one of the 5 sins of gaming is making a game in a genre that you quote unquote don't belong in? Or I don't even remember what the sin was, but it's something like that.
A genre that you've essentially been gentrified out of.
Yeah. All right, and that'll leave that for that topic. We'll do it. Yeah, that was a good chunk of time, and we don't want to go too long, as much as some of you would like that. So we will get into what we've been playing. All right. I think probably Matt has played the least.
I played a lot.
Or the... Huh?
I played a lot.
He's played a lot.
Okay,
I think...
Matt has not played the least. Cameron,
Yeah.
what have you... Oh my god, I've played the least in terms of games I'm going to talk about. So, just have a look
well,
at both your lists.
have my list. I'm just gonna shoot pretty quickly.
Okay, fine, go.
All right, bang.
Anyone
Spot on.
go, you go.
All right, Radalaka. We played Red Bow. What do we think of Red Bow, guys? Is it
I
weird?
have not played it.
You never played it?
I don't remember it.
You don't remember it? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. The only thing I remember in this game is the second, I guess, chapter of the 3 chapters in the game, and you set this chick on fire, and it's just intro to this character is she just walks around and she just asks, "Are you pretty? Do you think I'm pretty? Do you think I'm pretty?" Meanwhile, my girlfriend is sitting behind me, watching me play this Radalaka game, spending half an hour of my life, and then just starts whispering over my ear, "Do you think I'm pretty? Do you think I'm pretty?" Gets to a point in the story where you have to set this chick on fire, or one of the options is to set the chick on fire, and it's just "Yeah, I think you're pretty hot."
And then just burst into flames. Wow. Yep.
Burst into flames. Typical, my girlfriend kind of humor. She loved it. She wants to play Radalakas now. Cool. Easy. Done. She's on my account.
For you?
For me.
Yeah. Just give her the game, put up the video guide.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is Sangrius. You just gotta listen to it.
From the hidden levels. He's going to run you through everything.
Exactly. So I did Red Bow. I did Blind Men. The animation is cool. That's all I pretty much saw. Great topic. Moving on. Gravity Duck. He's a duck. He bends the laws of gravity, physics, whatever. Yeah. Also
Sure.
great.
Typically, gravity tends to be one of the laws of physics.
It is
Spot
one
on.
of them. It's
Cool.
one of the weaker. It's one of the weaker forces, but we won't get into that.
9.8 meters per second.
Alright, Mr. works in a school.
Yeah, but he's a janitor.
Sorry that I went to high
so,
school.
Hey,
I'm sorry that I finished high school, Cameron.
Hey, I did too. I was meant to go to uni and then I got hit by a car. Fun fact for you all. Superbox Land D-Make. I did that as well. That's a nice puzzle game, actually. One of the only Radalakas I haven't used a guide for.
That was a good one.
Alright, so now going into my other games of the week. I tried to finish off my crab list. I first put on Boomball on the Kinect. I did 1 level. I had 4 more levels to go for my achievement, just to finish the gardens. And then my Kinect died. Of course, nobody near me is selling an Xbox One Kinect, even though we've got 2 360 Kinects, but...
Oh, buddy, I'd send you mine.
I was hoping that people
You've got
would be
3
still
days,
trying
so...
to...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will get there hit by then. But I was going to do Shape Up, and I was going to make that most of my podcast talk today, but no exercise for me. How sad.
Couldn't shape up, so now you're shipping out.
Yeah,
You don't need the camera to do exercise, Cameron.
Yeah, but
It's not... The game is not a requirement to do exercise.
achievements are a really good motivator if you use them correctly. And I mean, I just saw that achievement for 24 weeks of weekly exercise, and I just went, yeah, I could bundle that together pretty well.
I'm with you. I mean, achievements have motivated me to completely ruin my life, so and I just keep doing it every time.
Achievements are why I'm single. Okay, let's
No
not have an
comment.
awkward silence here, Cameron. Keep going. Just push on, Cameron. Don't be
I
weird
was waiting
about
to
it.
see how long that would go for. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to break that. No, that's perfect.
Alright, all Radalakas aside and our Connect adventures, I moved on to Rayman Legends, which I believe was Games of Gold.
Sorry, Raymond Edgens.
Whoops, typo. I played a fair bit of it, thinking that as soon as I got through the second stage, it would unlock the final level, but I don't know why it won't. Yeah, no. I have not spent enough time in this game to actually understand how it works.
Yeah, hit me up afterwards. I'll run you through it because I've done it twice.
Okay.
Is that
you poor
that's the one that
soul.
came out on the Xbox One, right? As well.
Yep, it came out on both, and you had to do the daily challenges every single. Got to get those gold.
I need to do the dailies.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things. I did it. I did both of them at the same time as I did the dailies for Solitaire. So it was just I would sit down and I would do my 2 dailies for that and my daily for the Solitaire stuff, and it was like driving nails into my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to that.
Yeah, look, I was purely using it for crap. I don't think I'm going to be going back to it. It's like I like the animation and all. Well, I like the graphics and all that, but I mean, I can only stand so much platformers.
I mean, outside of that, like daily stuff, getting all the trophies and stuff, like the actual single player part of the game, like the actual story, is actually really, really good, and the musical levels are incredible.
Okay,
I think I had to for Ultimate Head to Head. I had to do the weird musical levels, where it's the musical levels but different.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was they were all pretty okay. One of them was terrible. I can't even remember which one.
It'll be the orchestra one that has the static showing up in between them, I assume so.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yep.
And I could not get one jump. I had to I had to do the normal one to figure out where I had to jump because. Yep, the same issue. Yeah, I got there was one enemy that was hiding behind the static every single time, and like I just kept bumping into him, and I was like, why am I keep failing this part? Am I hitting a spike or something? Or what am I doing? And then like I just like paused it right before, and I just saw the hint of like a leg. I was like, oh, there's an enemy there I've been running into for like the last half an hour that I couldn't even see. Yeah.
But
great game though.
I might go back to it, but I don't know. I just don't really have that much interest for it at the moment.
Race to the finish, Cameron. You and me. I'm setting up that TA challenge now, and you're accepting it.
Do I have to?
Anyway, sounds like yes. It's on record now. So,
Overcooked 2, great game. Finished it off.
Sorry, no, it is a great game. I'm just remembering what you're gonna say, and it's hilarious.
So horde mode, yeah.
Horde mode, yeah.
Who knew you could repair the barriers?
Really?
Yeah. So those things that are being attacked by the horde, you can repair them with your money. Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah. So there's an achievement tied directly to getting 100% health in your kitchen, which I knew the achievement, but here I am is on the 3rd level of the horde, just going. I can't get these dishes out quick enough. Like, it's just not working. And then just trying to hunt around for information. And then I find a Reddit post, and it's like, oh, so you guys repairing the windows and all that? I'm like, what? What do you mean? I've just spent like 2 hours of my life failing at this over and over again, gone to bed angry, woke up the next day, and then realized this. So anyway, I promptly finished it off. Had no issues after.
I was going to say, you should be an expert by now then.
I mean, after I did the typical tricks of, just building dishes in advance, using your time, just all time management stuff. But yeah, finish that off. Probably will do the Windows 10 stack, which is Windows 10 in Game Pass? The game?
The Windows 10 stack is in Game Pass. The DLC is not.
No, okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. This competition's not going to be fair. Because I'm at 64% and Cameron's at 8.
Okay, so you just need to give him a bit of a head start.
Yeah, so I'm just not going to play till October.
Okay, yeah.
2030.
Yeah.
2030. And then I'll still win.
Exactly. Anyway, so yeah, finished off Overcooked 2. Finished off Halo 4.
Oh, good.
So the last few things I needed to do were the challenges, which me and Alex got done last night. And then I did Repeat Survivor at 3 a.m. in the morning because just everybody else that I joined in on normal times with just kept coming to my base and killing me when I was at 2 kills. And I just couldn't stand it anymore. Could not stand it. So yeah, probably going to move on to another Halo. So if you want to do some co-op with me, hit me up. I like to just do Legendary from the get-go, so be warned.
Get good.
Within MCC or...
No, just anything, really. I'm gonna try and do as much of the Halo games before Series X comes out.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll have it all done, but...
Any idea what you're planning on doing next?
I might check out Anniversary. But saying that if anybody else is looking for the DLC achievements and any of the others, feel free to hit me up. I'll be keen.
I'm looking for the DLC achievements in Master Chief Collection.
Oh, you mean the entire game?
Oh, right, yeah, that one.
I could probably run you through quite a bit of it, to be honest. But
no, it's fine.
No way.
It'll happen eventually.
I'm not touching that game.
That's actually just above Neverwinter on my list of games to play. All the way down the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, it is better than Neverwinter.
I have more achievements in it than Neverwinter 2. Closer to that completion.
I think I've got one pop in Neverwinter.
Oh, no.
Two? You got two?
I have two. I have level 5 or whatever, and get a companion or something.
Yep.
Oh dear. But Matt's gonna get that done for us, yeah?
Yeah, he's just gonna run us through 7,000 dragons, right?
There are discontinueds on that, so good luck with it.
Oh, okay. Never starting this. Never.
7,000 dragons. It's easy.
Jeez. Forza Horizon 4, just did my typical weekly stuff. I've just got to smash out the trial, which is the harder one. Racing against the driver tires on Unbeatable, but I mean, Jester's been sending me messages and just discussing tips, so should hopefully get the encore in a fortnight. Overwatch, ran a session for Echo on Sunday morning. Yeah, Sunday morning. We had both achievements done for all 12 players within 15 to 20 minutes.
Nice.
Worked out good.
Yeah.
And
it definitely seems like an easier, even boosting, it seems like an easier character.
Even then, though, I want to applaud everybody in that session, though. I'm not going to list out all 12 names, but, I mean, everybody joined the party. Everybody was very understanding that it was a 12-person party. Keep mic volume to a minimum. And just I basically just go into the Overwatch sessions of, alright, so everybody on this team has an odd number, everybody on that team has an even number, seeing that the achievements tie around, one of them is getting 2 kills. One will kill 2 and 4, 2 will kill 1 and 3, and then so forth. And it just went
It's alright, I understand how boosting works.
Just for Overwatch specifically. Anyway, other than that, D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die. I need to finish this game. I need to finish it. It's so amazing.
It's an absolute mess, and I love every moment of it.
Yep. But, just dived back into it to try and get one of my crabs done. Haven't got quite there just yet, but I'm so glad this was the Games of Gold, because I never would have taken the time to seek this out. And it is just perfect. It's just so odd in its own unique little way.
I love all the whispers of maybe there being a continuation because it was episodic. But we'll see. I highly doubt it'll ever happen, but hey, you never know.
I mean, it came out in, 2014?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. Other than that, finishing off the week with some Wheel of Fortune. So,
did you win big?
I nearly hit 1 million a few times, which, I mean, it's great because it has the win 5,000, win 10,000 or 50,000, and win 500,000. But all you have to do is just get one roll of 1 mil, and you're safe. You're done. But
yeah, just gotta get lucky.
Just gotta get lucky, yeah. But yeah, I think a few more hours in it, and I'll get the completion. Other than that, though, finished off the week with 6,120.
It's a damn good result. Well done.
I mean, that's just Ratalakas, though. for the most
Yeah,
part.
I mean, look, I wasn't going to, point out the fact that it's all just trash, but,
I mean, I got to get number 1 on that Rodolaka board.
Yeah, true.
Or number 31.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I have the 5 wild cards and the 5 gift tags in Wheel of Fortune to go.
Yeah, just luck.
RNG. Yep. Okay, I guess I'll go next because I don't want to listen to Matt right now.
It's fair. That's fair.
Yep. I'll mention I played 15 out of the 18 Kunio titles. So 11 from the Japanese store, 4 from the US. I forgot all about the Double Dragon games existing, so I need to get them for another free 1800 Gamerscore. So I got 9,000 from that. That happened in an hour.
I'm just going to say, are you going to play any more of those games, or is that just you've just sucked them dry and you're just going to throw them away?
I'll probably play them. Apparently, like, some of them aren't too bad. One of them is Hell on Earth. I know, because I tried something with it last night, and the thing I tried didn't work, and I realized because of that, it's going to be awful to do. They all have, like, saves coming you can do, so you can just save wherever and just scum it that way. So it's just going to be a slog for some of them. And also the descriptions of things aren't very clear. Like, one of the games has clear level 1, clear level 2 for the achievements, but that's actually difficulty, so it's clear the game on normal, clear the game on hard.
Ah, that is odd.
Yeah. So, which most of them are like that, but it's just a quirky little way of saying it. And things like win the game with the weakest character and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd like to go back to some of them. I did Astrologaster on the Windows 10. It's in Game Pass. Super easy. I did it. I was doing that while I was doing the Kunio titles, so 10,000 Gamerscore in an hour, including that one. It's essentially a text adventure, but with pictures. So you just there's dialogue. I wish I'd paid attention to the story. I assume that you're trying to get a medical license, so people are going to you to talk about their problems, and you have to recommend them a solution based on the stars. So there's a Steam guide that goes through pretty much everything. The only thing I needed to change was I had to follow the Lancelot guide that's on TA. So all my interactions with Lancelot, I followed the TA guide. Everyone else, I followed Steam, and that worked out fine. Got all the achievements again within the hour. But I skipped all the dialogue, so I just clicked through all of it really quickly. I think it would probably work better and be nicer on like a Surface tablet, because to go essentially to the next scene, you have to drag like a page. You have to drag it to the left, like you're flipping a page in a book. So I think it would just work better on a Surface tablet than it does with the mouse. But that's just me. Still worked fine. Got my 1,000 game score. I finished off finally went back to and finished off PC Building Simulator. So I got my $1 million. I reckon I was probably making about 50,000 an hour. So it's a 20-hour achievement instead of a 20-hour achievement instead of probably 200 plus. Wow. So the glitch is a severe cut. Now, I don't remember if I talked about the glitch last time. You could honestly do it while you're leveling up, because once you hit level 30, you're just going to be focusing on getting as much money as possible. But while you're doing it and doing leveling up and doing jobs and stuff, you could do this glitch. So you need to first unlock PC Bay, which is the equivalent of eBay. You purchase that when you have enough money. I can't recall what the cost is. It's probably like $1,000 once you hit a certain level, and that gives you offers of used parts that you could buy to build computers with. What you want to do is, when you've got a job to either fix or build a computer, you want to do that job. I think actually it's only going to work on building computers, only work for new builds. You want to build the computer, and normally you would attach the person their little ticket sticky note to the desk that you're working on. You'll also need 2 desks, which you should get pretty early. So you attach the sticky note to the computer you're working on. Like, this is his computer. I finished building it, and now I'm going to send it to him. Instead of attaching the name to the computer, you want to put the name on the other desk. You want to run the spec, I can't remember what it's called, to see essentially what PC mark score you get. And then you want to attach the eBay sticker to it. So once the eBay sticker is on it, it'll go onto eBay, and you can sell it in 5 days. Then pick up the computer from the desk that you're working on, put it on the other desk with the person's name attached to that desk, and that computer will now attach to that person as their job, but it'll still be on eBay. So you do whatever needs to be done. They usually want it to boot to the OS, so you just turn it on, it boots, and then you can send it off. Once it's sent off, you'll get the money for the labor, which is usually, at least at the end game, it's $500. I think it's a little bit less when you do it normally, and all the money for your parts that you spent. So normally you would just get $500 for every job, and it would take a long time to get to $1 million. Because you've both done the job and put the computer on eBay, at least in the end game, I was getting usually around $5,000 a computer, if not more. So if you do that as you're leveling up, that'll cut down a huge amount of time going towards that $1 million, and it'll help with buying upgrades, buying cables when you need them, stuff like that. So yeah, I would recommend doing it as you go, because it'll cut down time, but it's super quick glitch that cuts down the time at the end a huge amount. So I got that done because I then got $200,000 worth of inventory and bought every single part, and then got an auto clicker to skip me to the year 2029.
Oh, yep.
You go to the door to leave, and then you just skip day. No one cares that you haven't paid rent. No one cares that you haven't paid your utility bills. No one checks up on you in 9 years, I think.
Just in real life.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's the joys of home ownership without a mortgage, you know? That's all it takes. And for no one to ever care about you.
It's almost like there's the coronavirus in that world too.
Yep.
No one was coming to a business.
Everyone's like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to risk it. He might be alive.
He's probably fine.
The computers keep coming out. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about Far Cry, Matt?
Yeah, I can do. Yep.
Okay. I did the Far Cry Lost in Mars DLC. Got that done. Didn't massively enjoy it. I mean, it was fine for an hour, and then it was the same thing again and again and again, which I know describes Far Cry in a nutshell, but this felt worse somehow. I don't know. The enemies being more annoying, I guess, is part of it. But I did that so that I could get the Mars weapons in the main game, so that I can get through that a little bit easier. I also spent most of my time towards the end of the week and weekend playing Silence, The Whispered World 2. It's leaving Game Pass at the end of the month, and I'd started it, so I figured, I know there's a guide up, I'll get it done, it'll be pretty easy. I know that there's problems unlocking achievements on the Windows 10, so I'll make sure to play on my Xbox. Played on my Xbox, had some achievements not pop, but I thought, not a big deal. Looked at what achievements I had left, thought, this one can only unlock on the Windows 10. Oh, that's okay. Most of my achievements aren't say they can unlock on Windows 10 as well, so I'll just run through it there and it'll be fine. No. As it turns out, having a save from the Xbox, I guess, voids the full game achievement. So I played through the whole thing again, and it didn't pop. And it was a 5-hour playthrough trying to get everything. It's probably 2.5, 3 hours just doing only the necessary things, because you can't really skip cutscenes, and most of the dialogue you can't skip. It's a bit of a slog on the second playthrough because nothing changes. Didn't pop, so got a bit disappointed there. Did my mop up yesterday on the Xbox, and need to do my final Windows 10 playthrough with my save nuked from existence. I cleared it out. I uninstalled the game. I kicked my Xbox a bit and yelled at the cloud. Hopefully it's yeah, hopefully it's gone from there, and I'll be able to get this achievement fine, which I'll do tomorrow, and that'll be done. The other Game Pass lever that I've been working on was Full Metal Furies, mainly because Sangrias from the Hidden Levels, who we mentioned earlier, he makes good guides, was talking about he was playing through New Game Plus, and you need to beat the final boss on New Game Plus to get an achievement. So I said, oh, yep, cool, I'll jump in when you're there and get it with you. And, thought it was going to be fine, because normally you pick your characters and it's all good. As it turns out, you play with the character so when you join someone else's squad, you play with your character, not theirs, which, looking back on it, makes perfect sense, but it meant I couldn't use his level 99 characters. I had to use my level 15 characters that I'd made. So we fought the final boss for a little bit, kept dying after a certain bit. He's essentially got 4 chunks of health, and every time you take a quarter down, he'll summon some enemies that you have to kill while he's fighting you. His attack pattern's pretty easy to figure out, but the swarm of enemies is really annoying. As each quarter of his health gets taken down, he will drop gold, and you can use that gold to upgrade and level up. So we would go for a bit, and then back out to the base camp, and I'd level up my character, and then we'd jump back in. Took us about an hour to beat him, so it wasn't ridiculous, but it was certainly not the first or second try that we were expecting it to be. Didn't get the New Game Plus achievement to pop. Got the achievement for beating the game and for beating the boss the first time. No New Game Plus. So we're like, oh, okay, that's weird. Maybe your save needs to be in New Game Plus as well. I thought, oh, maybe it did. Alright, well, I've unlocked New Game Plus by beating the boss the first time, so we'll just jump into it. Even though I'm definitely under-leveled for New Game Plus, we'll just do it. I mean, the boss was exactly the same the second time, so we beat the boss again. Took us 2 or 3 tries the second time, because sometimes you get a little bit unlucky with his attack pattern. Got the achievement, which was, I think it's a 7 ratio at like 60 Gamerscore, so pretty reasonable. And now I just need to do basically a playthrough of normal mode, not New Game Plus difficulty, and do some of the collectible stuff, and then I'm completely done with the game. And yeah, it saved me a huge amount of grind not having to beat that boss by myself. So I really should explain what Full Metal Furies is like, isn't I? Shouldn't I?
Yeah, I mean, I've kept an eye on it for a little bit, but I never ended up picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to buy it on a sale, yeah, sure, it's pretty good. Essentially, it's a isometric twin stick shooter in a way. There are 4 different characters to pick from, which are 4 classes: fighter, engineer, tank, and sniper. If you're playing by yourself, you'll pick 2 of them, and you can swap in between them. And you sort of progress through levels, and enemies will pop up, and you sort of you walk around and kill the enemies. You have special attacks and secondary attacks and normal attacks. So that has literally not described the game, but it's an isometric twin stick shooter. That's really it. Enemies pop up, you kill the enemies. Pretty simple stuff. It was made. Sorry.
So you'd say worth picking up though?
Yeah, on a sale, I think $10 or less, I reckon it's probably worth it.
Okay.
That final achievement is pretty painful, because if you rush through it, you may be 4 hours on New Game Plus if your character's leveled up enough. Yeah, but it's a little bit weird in terms of progressing through the story, but not too bad. So hopefully I can finish that before it leaves Game Pass at the end of the month as well, and that'll be nice. And that left me with 15,422 game score for the week.
Oh yeah, so Cameron's was absolute trash, obviously, compared to that. I mean, look at those numbers. But
those are big boy numbers. I could have taken my Saturday snapshot alone and been better than Cameron.
All right, well,
all right, Matt, what have you been up to?
All right, I'm going to show you guys up with my impressive list of games. So I played some more Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars. I played about 5 more minutes of it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play this anymore. I was like, oh, this is fun. And then I was like, okay, no, it's not that fun, actually. Because the problem is that the difficulties don't stack. So you have to play... Oh. You have to play each mission 3 times. I've already run through them all on bronze years ago, but now I'm doing them on silver and then redoing them on gold, and it's just really sucking the fun out of it for me. But I'll go back to it every now and then. I've got it installed. I'll just chip away at it every now and then. I've got good guides for it. The walkthrough on TA is pretty good. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll just take some time. I finished up Kingdom Hearts 3, the non-DLC. So I got that last achievement. For synthesizing everything, I decided, well, I've had it sat there, it's on Game Pass, might as well just go back and finish it. And it only took me like a couple hours, so I was like, wow, I probably should have just done this. But yeah, it turns out I wasn't too far off it, but that's that done. I want to play the DLC, but for the $40 or whatever they're asking for, or $50, it's way too much. So I'm going to wait for a deep discount on that.
I saw a review into that. It actually has more content than I was surprised. Saying that, though, the voice acting on Riku is god-awful.
Oh, is it?
And it's just very entertaining to watch.
Oh, good. I'm glad to look forward to it, at least.
But does he smell how dark you are?
Oh, no.
Can he smell the darkness inside you?
Oh, God.
Does that leave darkness having a smell in the canon?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I also finished up Dead Island Definitive Edition. Got my 28 days played achievement. It didn't pop on the 28th day, so I was pretty annoyed. But then I looked at the guide, and apparently it has to be 28 days to like the hour. So I waited till that evening and then rebooted it, and then it popped up. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Far Cry 5. Wait. Yep.
28 days later, I just got it.
Yeah, you just got it?
I just got it.
You just got the zombie reference in the zombie game?
Oh, I thought he meant the achievement.
I mean, the achievement, that's what
the movie reference.
Yeah, no. I got that pretty, when I first played Dead Island on the 360.
I got the achievement before you guys, but that reference...
Look, as I'm just glad they didn't make it 28 months later, because that would have been ridiculous.
They still need to make that. But anyway.
I mean, even weeks would have been pretty terrible.
Yeah, true, actually. We also played some Far Cry 5, so I just had the zombie DLC to work on, so Chin and I jumped on that and had a very successful time right up until the last level. So yeah, we were having a good time, we're smashing through it, we got golds pretty much all the way through. There was a couple of ones that we were very close on, but we worked out some good strats, we had some great teamwork, coordination, it was great, it was like ballet. We were shooting zombies in the face, and then we got to the last level and we're like, oh, this will be fine. And we just got up to the last area and died, 10, 20 times almost? It was a lot. It
was a lot of times.
They just storm you with the big behemoths dudes that essentially you can only damage after they've done an attack that takes off all your health, and you have to try and dodge the attack. And if there's more than one of them will do the attack, and then while he's stunned, the other one will come up and try to beat you up. So trying to play off them was fun. But yeah, we got through it, and then we so I got you got the achievement, and then we ran through the level you'd already finished. It took us a couple of tries, but we managed to smash that. And then I just I'm assuming you also idle boosted the 5,000 zombie kills.
Yeah, I think I got it yesterday, but I mean I'd hit 97% the next day.
Yeah.
A couple of my times 28 days later.
Oh, there you go.
I just did it just then because Cameron said he got it, and I'm like, oh, he must have. I thought he meant the achievement, so I started launching it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop here after his terrible, terrible joke.
So basically, just what you could do is in the first level, you can grab one of the tractors and just set it outside one of the doors at an angle, and the zombies will just run straight into it over and over again. Again, you will get knocked around a little bit, so you have to check in on it every few hours or so. But you can get the achievement done in 5 hours, depending on how... if you've played through enough of the game, I think I was sitting at about 30% of the achievement already before we even got to that stage. So it took maybe 4 or 5 hours of just sitting there and just having the zombies run into it. So all I've got left to do in that game is to finish the Impossible playthrough, which on New Game Plus. But I have my laser weapons. It's more of a slog than real any main difficulty. but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some parts where they take away your weapons, which is quite challenging. But I've beaten the first area, and I have 2 more to go. So I'll probably just that'll probably be my go-to game when I don't really have much else to play. Just want to grind away at something until I finish it. Unfortunately, it looks like they've patched the being able to jump into someone else's game right at the end and get the achievement rather than doing it. I mean, we'll probably still try it to see if it works if we get lucky, but they cottoned on to what people were doing, unfortunately.
Yeah, just to... I mean, not that you're helping too much with the Zombies DLC, but because I'd done one of the missions with a friend on score attack mode, it essentially... I'd done the 6th of 7 missions. And because I did number 6, it essentially unlocked the previous 5 for score attack mode. So if you were working with someone who has done none of them, because the achievement can be done in co-op, but it only unlocks for the host, so you'll need to do, I guess, one mission twice or something. So just do it sucks, but do the final mission first. Because then the other person will have all previous ones unlocked, and, then they won't have to... I mean, they'll have to do one solo. Probably just save the first one to do by yourselves if you wanted to do everything in co-op. But, yeah, work backwards, because then everyone will have score attack unlocked, and everyone will be able to get the achievement.
And most of the levels get easier as you go back, for the most part.
Yeah. Alright.
I also played some Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts with Chin, so we were looking at the multiplayer. So I jumped on, did the DLC, took a few tries to get it up and running. I'd forgotten how much fun that game was. It's a laugh. I mean, it's very much not a Banjo-Kazooie game. It's basically just a build things and smash things game. But I'm going to have to go back and finish that. I got to like 91 jiggies out of 130 or something, so I still have quite a bit more to do in it. But I'm not quite sure why I stopped playing it. I imagine it probably got too difficult or I got distracted by something. But that might be one of my games that I sort of clean up in the next few months. Did some more boosting for Battlefield 3, so got all the DLC completed for that. So all I have left to do is to get to rank 45. So going to be doing my weekly boost for that. Not much to say there. It's pretty much just killing and reviving and killing and reviving. I played some Duke Nukem 3D for some reason. It's not backwards compatible, so it's one of those 360 games that I needed to clean up. So I've been going through and I did a couple of levels. Yeah, it's a decent game. I mean, you could play it on easy. So I'm just sort of running through and just smashing things up. There's an achievement for getting 70 secrets, which is a pain because the guide that they use has the walkthrough with pictures and helpful descriptions and ideas of what to do and how to fight enemies, and then at the end lists all the secrets. So you need to go, either you need to flip back and forth between looking for the secrets and the parts, or you need to finish the whole level and then run back through it all in reverse to try and find all the secrets that they didn't outline during the full guide. So I really wish someone would just make a guide that just has everything in it that I need. But I'll probably look at GameFAQs or something for that, but we'll see. Also played Marvel vs. Capcom Origins. Again, I'm just playing random stuff on my 360 at the moment. Got through the Marvel Superheroes part. Got pretty much all the achievements done for that. And then I was like, oh, cool, actually, this isn't too bad. Like, I finished the arcade with the characters, grind out all the hyper combos and all that sort of stuff. I was like, well, maybe I should do the arcade for Marvel vs. Capcom 1. So going okay. There's an achievement for finishing an arcade mode playthrough without losing a round. You can kind of cheese it by having a second controller that you press start on to bring in a new challenger if you think you're going to lose to take you out of the match. It's helpful, but you got to be really quick on the draw. I was doing just fine until I got to the final boss. I mean, fighting games have the tradition of having a last boss that's absolute crap. I'd much like to use a more descriptive word there, but like incredibly unfair. You know, it has attacks that like take up the whole screen, one-hit kills, all kinds of stuff. This one just has all of them. He has two forms. His first form is a pain, and his second form is just absolute. Like it just, I can't beat it. So I've been trying to cheese it as much as possible, but the prospect of having to go through and try and beat the arcade mode with every single character is incredibly daunting. I'm not very good at fighting games to begin with, so I've rinsed that for all it was worth. part of why I was doing those was I had Borderlands Game of the Year edition as the free the Games with Gold weekend or whatever they call it.
Free play weekend, yeah.
Free play weekend game. So I had that running in the background trying to get my Claptrap stuff from the last time it was a free play weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you, Jen, for helping me with the arenas, the Mad Moxie stuff. Saved us a lot of time.
I did that, I forgot.
Yep.
You're the best.
Yep. And so we saved a lot of time there, allowed me to go back and finish up all the other achievements that I needed for beating all the side quests in the various DLCs in the main game, collecting a few bits and pieces, going to all the Claptrap locations, things like that. Really basic stuff, and then leveling. Yeah. So got that all finished. And then I kind of had to sit there for a while and let the Claptraps blow themselves up. Left it overnight, game crashed. Left it overnight again, game crashed. So I sat there and just watched it and checked back every couple of hours while working on 360 games. But it's done now.
Did that rock work for you?
The rock worked relatively well. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it worked well enough.
Okay.
But it's also where it crashed every time if I left it for too long, because too many items would spawn. I guess it was the problem. But whatever, got it. It's done. Don't have to worry about it, and I didn't have to pay for it, so I'm very, very happy. Looking at old games on the 360, I also got drawn back into playing Doom, the old 2007 release. I think it was 2007 on the 360. I still had I had to finish the game I finished episode 4, and I also needed to beat the game on Ultraviolence. Basically, just ran through and used
I bet you did that legit, didn't you?
Well, I mean, you still got to beat the bosses legit. So, so I used the trick that was in a very hotly debated guide on TA. A lot of people have opinions around this fact that you can jump into a ranked game and then jump out of it, and you'll be back in the level with no enemies in it. You can just run to the end, as long as you know how to get through the levels, which is another challenge in and of itself.
Yeah.
But you do have to fight all the bosses at the end legit. So the first boss was fine, it's easy. Second boss was not too bad. The third boss, though, I ran in there and I realized, okay, so they give you a rocket launcher and they give you a plasma rifle and barely enough ammo to kill the boss and everything in it. I was literally and of course I'm playing on the second highest difficulty and I'm a real scrub, so I'm just sort of circle strafing. Oh, and of course the enemy's a hit scan weapon, so essentially as soon as they're pointing at you, you start taking damage. You can't dodge the projectiles really. So I was just edging around, and so I used all my rockets, all the cells in my plasma gun, ran around the edge of the level, picking up all the ammo, used all of it, and I was down to my pistol. I had 200 rounds in, I was just shooting him for everything it was worth. I got down to about 30 rounds left, and he finally died. And I was like, man, am I going to have to restart this whole game? But no, thankfully, I got it. And then the last boss was a total chump, because by that stage, you have the BFG and like 600 ammo, like 600 cells, which is like 6 shots, which is easy enough to kill everything in the room with the boss. You just blast into it and it's done. Overall, easy enough game. I'm glad I had the glitch, though, because I'm going to have to do Doom 2 at some stage, and that's going to be an absolute nightmare. Pun intended. I also, for some reason... Yeah, no, you're right. That's no. But I deserve everything bad that's ever happened to me. I also played some Call of Duty World at War. I'm trying to work on getting my first prestige done. I mean, what I'm really trying to work on is actually getting into a damn game. But I've been playing some zombies, because you do still get some ranks up for that. So I've just been playing a bit of zombies with some people, got a couple of achievements. But I'm probably going to try and put some serious time into just getting that taken care of. Because it's only 2 map packs, and there are no real main Easter eggs. You just have to be kind of good at the game. So we'll see how that goes. I've had some offers from help with some people, which is great. I also this afternoon played Astrologaster, as you did, on the Windows 10.
Yes.
I did actually sit through and listen to most of the dialogue stuff, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's a very, very funny game. I really like the pop-up style, but yeah, I agree. Like, there's a lot of swiping and like tapping, and like it's obviously made for a mobile device.
Yeah.
The achievements are easy enough. Macca actually has a really good video guide, but on the video guide description, he actually has a Reddit post that he links to that he created that has every action you need to get all the achievements, and it worked first time. So I would advise checking that one out. And then, drum roll please, the game everyone's been waiting for. So, Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix.
Oh, you want me to stop? Yep.
Yeah. This game... Okay, so as you may or may not know, I'm not buying any games this year. So I was like, okay,
How did you acquire this game then?
Yes, well...
Because this is not in Game Pass
It's
yet,
not in Game Pass
as you
yet.
claimed it may be future. We don't know yet.
Again, it was on sale the other week, and I was thinking, well, it'll probably be in Game Pass, and I don't want to break my streak of not buying any games, so I'm just going to give it a miss and wait for it to come on Game Pass. Also, it's a 200-plus hour completion, and I'm in a competition at the moment that makes that not really a great game to play for Gamerscore or the competition itself.
Oh, interesting.
So, Kirby, friend of the show, hears that I'm talking about this and decides that instead of, being helpful or, he's been very helpful. Yeah, exactly. Supportive or, encouraging me to stick to my goals and save money. And, he's been very helpful throughout the week, getting me a lot of achievements, working on a lot of games with me. He decides that the best course of action would be to purchase the game while it's on sale and gift it to me, knowing that my guilty conscience will make me play it.
And then afterwards telling him some of the achievements.
Yes.
Like, complete the game in the starting gear.
Yes. And, yeah. So, I have started Kingdom Hearts 1. I've just finished Halloween Town. I've gone back to Atlantica because I'm playing on Proud mode, and it is rough. I made sure to grab the shield and get rid of the sword, so I'm not completely helpless. I've got some defense, and I have my Leaf Bracer ability. But, oh man, that Atlantica boss fight, the last one, is just a nightmare. I'm at Ursula, and I'm just bashing my head against it. So I'm going to go do that. I'll do Neverland, and then I guess I have to do Hollow Bastion. We'll see how the rest of it goes. The Hollow Bastion I'm not looking forward to.
Sorry, my dog was going to come in, but then realised I was still recording and went, nope.
Yeah, so... I'm, you know what? Despite all my rage, I'm still just a heart in a cage. I'm very, very much enjoying this game. This game is still so good. Like, I'd forgotten how good it was. Like, I have not played it since it originally came out in, 2002, back on the PlayStation 2. So I haven't played any of the remasters. I never played any of the final mix versions. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and that's pretty much it. So, going back to this has been really good. I'd forgotten all the stuff that's in the game, like the summons and the magic system and like a lot of the tournament stuff and a lot of stuff that I remember being in Kingdom Hearts 3 because I played it recently. But being like, actually no, a lot of the stuff was in here from the beginning. So I'm going to try and finish up my Proud mode playthrough this week, and then I'm going to start my my starting equipment beginner 100% mode playthrough after that, and then once it's finally done. I guess I move on to... I guess if I do them in chronological order, I move on to Chain of Memories.
Chain of Memories, yep.
So we'll see how that goes. I know that Cameron's been playing that recently, and he seems to be having a great time, so looking forward to that.
Well,
really good.
More importantly, it's a race.
Yeah, so apparently it's a race. I mean, again, like this other race that we discussed, it's massively unfair because I'm at a huge disadvantage.
He's ahead of me. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, because I actually play my games. But, Cameron's also ahead of me. So, it's like a three-legged race.
We're racing
I didn't
now?
invite Cameron to the race anymore.
Oh, so it's just you and I. Okay, Cameron, that's fine. Okay.
I want in.
No. You know what? No, I'm not about this.
You focus on Rayman Legends, buddy.
No.
Let's get our priorities straight. No. You focus on one race at a time.
Look, I'm only at 460 out of 4,000 game score for
that's
it.
Still...
This is perfect time for me to jump in.
This is ridiculous. This is slander. I'm not putting up with it. So I'm probably going to put quite a bit of time into playing this. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
This is not going to be a good race for me.
Can we just add to? I remember some mention earlier in the week on the staff Discord that Kirby said he was happy to purchase Final Fantasy VII Remake for any other host of the show once it hits Xbox One.
Oh, I don't even mean host of the show. I mean whoever. I'll 5 copies. I'll have 5 copies for whoever wants it.
I mean, I'll play it.
Alright, dibs.
Because it's that good. I can't talk about it, but it is so good.
All right.
I'm
excited because I do feel like I'm missing out, but then there's a lot of other stuff. So hey.
Yeah, I know it's hard, but I would recommend trying to not read anything on it ever. until
won't.
you play it.
I won't. I'll avoid all the spoilers if I can. But yeah, again, so I'm still relatively
of a 21-year-old game.
I'm still I'm relatively early into the Kingdom Hearts collection, but it will probably be my thing that I'm going to be playing going forward. So you'll be hearing about it a lot. But that does put me at 2,108 achievements. But that brings back my Gamerscore back to a respectable 0 or 5, I believe.
Oh.
Now that Dead Island is finished.
Yeah. Yes. I have no idea what I'm at. I end in a 8. An 8. Alright.
And I ended in 2. No, wait, a 9.
Yeah, those are 7 apart, so it's very clear how you mistook it too.
I read my TA instead of my game score.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll forgive you there.
Cool.
Okay, moving on to sales, because that wraps up what we've been doing. Alex, what have you done today?
Oh, I didn't come on the show because I'm a wuss.
Okay.
Hey, look, I'll chime in for him, yeah? He's rage quit Halo 4. He's rage quit Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did.
To be fair on him, he did help me get to Diamond in Rocket League.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm now
he
officially Diamond in 3s, and he's still a Platinum pleb. So
how long till he rage
another
quit?
game I'm better than him at.
And then he also finished up The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle 2, A Bleaker Predicament, because he had to replay the entire
struggles
game.
he had with that one.
It sounds like it was a rough one.
He's not having a good week.
No, he's really not. So let's make fun of him. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sales, Matt. It looks like we've got some kind of spooky, scary sale going on this week.
Yeah, it's
for Halloween, obviously.
Halloween, yes. I mean, well, look, the graves are already full. They're just getting ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
So, Gamerscore games this week. We have Survive, whatever. Look, it's got a 2 in front of it. 50% off, $3.49. Adam's Venture Origins, 90% off, $1.49. Back in 1995, 33% off, $6.69. Blackwood Crossing, 40% off, $9.59. Caretaker, 35% off, $5.19. Decay, 50% off, $7.49. Deep Ones, 60% off, $1.99. Don't Knock Twice, 50% off, $6.24. Dreamwalker, Never Fall Asleep, 50% off, $7.49. Ellen, the game, 50% off, $3.99. I don't know if that's... I have no idea what kind of game that is, but I just like to believe that it's an Ellen DeGeneres simulator. Just a few weird people.
I was just thinking that.
It's a side-scrolling pixel art survival horror game.
That's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, no difference.
Flipping Death, 75% off, $5.99. Gaijin Charinji?
Charinji.
Gaijin
Challenge.
Oh, gotcha. Gaijin. Wow, that's really racist. 1, Kiss or Kill, 50% off, $4.99. Gnome's Garden 3-in-1 bundle, 50% off, $4.99. Has the first 3 Gnome's Garden games in them. Don't play them, they're bad. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, 60% off. Don't do it. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, 60% off, $3.99. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2, 50% off, $6.49. Haunted Halloween 86, 50% off, $4.99. Home Sweet Home, 30% off, $13.99. Iron Crypsicle, 75% off, $2.99. Just Ignore Them, 50% off, $2.49. Colat, 75% off, $4.99. Outbreak
Game Pass?
No, you're thinking of Kona.
Kona.
Yeah, but it's a very similar game to Kona, and I would use the video guide. It has a higher TA on it. It's a little bit more difficult, but not by much. Outbreak Epidemic, 50% off, $4.99. Oxenfree, 50% off, $4.99, but that is in Game Pass, so play it there. Persian Knights Sands of Wonder, 50% off, $7.49. Rememoried, 75% off, $3.74. I think that's the shortest game in TA history, right?
14 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Or down there.
Somewhere.
It's almost, it is a contender for the shortest game on TA to get 1,000 game scoring.
Remothered Tormented Fathers, 65% off, $10.49. Rise of Insanity, 55% off, $4.99. Scarlet Mysteries, Cursed Child, 50% off, $7.49. Selma and the Wisp, 50% off, $4.99. Slayaway Camp, Butcher's Cut, 75% off, $4.24. Solo Islands of the Heart, 50% off, $9.99. Undead Horde, 50% off, $8.49. Whispering Willows, 70% off, $2.99. Yesterday's Origin, 70% off, $5.99. And Zombie Party, 80% off, $1.99. So yeah, lots of zombies and ghouls and spooks.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff just there.
Yep.
Recommendations, Cameron.
I would say Shadow Legends, which wasn't in this list. I think it's 80% off the top of my head, but I'm not sure.
Not technically an easy get. Well, in terms of TA, it's
90% off, $1.27.
Yeah, definitely get that.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it if you're a fan of the old Game Boy Advance kind of Legend of Zelda games.
Minish Cap and things like that. Yeah.
Definitely has that feel. My other recommendation is Zombie Vikings. Not because it's a great game or anything, just because you should buy it and play it with me. Thanks, guys.
You need 4 players for some stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least
but I mean, $1.99 to play with one of your favorite hosts.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I've got it too. Yeah, so right. We're probably good, Cameron. Yeah, thanks. I
Cool.
appreciate the shout out, though.
Yeah, that was cool, Cameron. Thanks for shouting me out.
All right, what about you guys? What are you picking up?
I'm going to say,
what are you recommending?
I would say get the Goat Sim bundle. It's 80% off, and it gives you Goat Simulator and all the DLC packs, and then you can suffer through it like I did 3 times.
That's a pretty good bundle.
Flappy,
I want to suggest to people to Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Yes.
It's a very fun party game. It's 50% off, $9.49. I mean, party games. It's a fun game that you can play with someone else. The idea is that you working on a bomb and you're explaining what the bomb looks like to another person who has the instructions for how to defuse, or you can just be like me and have the instructions on the computer and just,
cheat,
do it yourself.
Yep.
And then eventually you'll just memorize what things go with what instructions and whatever else and get it. The Morse code ones are the worst, just because they take so long, those little sections, but really fun game. Little bit of a grind to get the completion, but it's not too crazy.
Worst one's defuse 500 bombs, yeah?
I don't know if it's 500 or...
It's a lot.
It's diffusing
like that,
a large number of bombs. I can't remember what I did. The grind is not difficult, it's just boring because you're just doing the same type of bomb. 100 bombs, not even 500. 100 bombs.
Yeah, by the end of the game you've done like 30 or something, right? Or something like...
Yeah, after the story you've done maybe 30, 35. So yeah, not the greatest grind at the end, but not too bad. Alright, what are you going to buy, Cameron?
I'm going to buy a lot. So okay. I'm gonna buy the goat pack, the goatee. I'm gonna buy Plague Rogue. I'm gonna buy Outlast 2. I'm gonna buy Slay Away Camp, and I might buy Homefront Freedom Fighter if I don't already own it.
Alright. Matt's not gonna buy anything, so that's fine. If you were gonna buy something, one thing, what would it be?
It might be one of the sort of easy baby games. I think I need like again, part of the thing is that because I've finished up so many of my games, I don't really get that enjoyment of finishing up an easy game. So it might be something like Just Ignore Them, or maybe one of those Artifex Mundi, like the Persian Knights, Sands of Wonder game, or something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you know what? Maybe that Weird Ellen game. Maybe that's the one.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And I just gonna double check what I own. Okay, I'm probably going to get, for a start, where was it? Where's it gone? It starts with a P. Where's the P section? Paper Dolls Original. Because apparently I don't think that's as difficult as the 2 ratio says it is. I think I'm just gonna suck it up and get the Monster Hunter Iceborne Deluxe, whatever, because I've started it through Game Pass. I need to certainly leave Game Pass before I play any more of it.
Especially considering that's a big completion.
Yeah, I may as well get it while it's on sale so that at least I own it when I've never played it again. I don't have the excuse of, it left Game Pass, that's why I never played it. It's just me being lazy. And I think Dead End Job as well, because that looks, I don't know anything about it, but think it's beat 'em up. I don't actually know. It's like Ghosts or something. I don't know. I don't own it, and I'm interested.
Sure.
I'm back to that reasoning now. Yeah. Not very encouraging. As for new games, there's only really, in terms of big-ish stuff. There it is. Next Tuesday, we have Moving Out, which is a Overcooked style game that you can play couch co-op, 4-player. No online co-op, unfortunately. And I learnt today you can turn on the assist modes and still unlock achievements. So that there's things like lowering the difficulty of the map itself. So, there's less traps. Items disappear when you deliver them, so you don't have to try and make things fit into the truck properly. You can just sort of throw it in the truck and it'll get delivered automatically, which is nice. Increasing timers for the goals you need to get. So you need to get gold in every single level. That the time you have to do it in will be increased. So things like that, which, I'm going to use them because I'm lazy and don't want to play the game properly, but still I want to have fun with it and not be super challenged. So I might turn them on later. But it's really good for, in terms of accessibility, for people who maybe not necessarily. I don't think color blindness is a problem in this one, but they have also preset controller configurations for one-handed left hand, one-handed right hand, things like that. They UI interface scale, lots of subtitles on everything. They've said nothing should be at colorblind issues because of the colors they've chosen, and they've had people test them and said it was okay. Obviously not perfect, but like that it was more than manageable. The steps they'd done were enough. So it just in general, it looks like a fun game, and I think the steps they've taken to make it accessible to anyone are fantastic. And the other one was, I have to zoom in because I can't see. Yeah, Gears Tactics on the Win 10 comes out next Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
That's a reasonably big title, not necessarily for us, but I think in general.
I might dive that actually, just to give it a try.
Okay, maybe for Cameron. Enjoy your 10,000 kills.
I was going to say I've been burnt by Gears too many times in the past. I'm not falling for that again.
I'll get him done one day.
Eventually.
On my great grandkids, someone will get them done one day.
Yeah. No one else can be playing on your tag. That's cheating. That's against Microsoft Terms of Service. I'm gonna report you.
No.
That's fine. We'll edit this bit out. It's fine.
Okay, you've convinced me. All right, milestones. So if you've got milestones since we've been recording, I haven't put it in because I don't do that. But you'll get them next week. So yay you. For achievements 1, we have level 6 vegan has 10,000. Ben L72 has 11,000, and I got 27,000. I think that was in my 4 milestone hit that I got when I
Yeah.
I think I might have crossed over 900,000 this week.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh right, I did. Yeah, I did.
I'm pretty
survive
sure
in
you had
Windows 10.
You had
Definitely
3
hit it on the
milestones
nose.
in the space of like an hour. I'm pretty sure.
It was 4 milestones with the same completion. It was 650 completions, the 27,000 achievements, 900,000 Gamerscore, and maybe it was 45% completion.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find the other thing.
Because I know I hit that as well, but I can't remember. Anyway, Gamerscore. Nate Dogg Sniper has 200,000 Gamerscore. Professor Pluto has 4. I was going to skip, but I thought maybe I shouldn't. 450,000 Gamerscore. Why has this triggered the red mark? That's ridiculous. Half milestones. I, as I mentioned earlier, got 900,000. I'm getting close to that million. We're going to get there. I don't know. Right. I guess I should hit it on the nose because everyone's like, "Oh, you didn't do it." Blah, 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 blah. I just want to cross it and just get back to like playing stuff I enjoy.
Games, yeah.
Honestly.
So before we move on, your 4 was getting 26,750 achievements.
Oh, it wasn't even 27,000.
Yeah, getting 900,000 Gamerscore, getting 45% completion, and getting 640 completed games.
640. Okay, yeah. Yep. Alright, yeah, okay.
But there's some grades in
still
there.
4
They don't
milestones
count.
with the one game, and I wasn't planning it. I was like, oh, I'll cross 900,000. That's a good milestone. 3 others came along. I'm like, oh, no, go away. You're making this look planned. Go away. TA score. We have Ahazo reached 700,000 and Nibirios with 900,000 TA score. As for games played, the Natolanator has reached 500 games played, and Level 6 Vegan has hit 750 games played. Completion percentage, Ben L72 has reached a new milestone of 91%. I don't know if that's correct settings. I'm going to assume it is. If you're above 90, you should be using correct settings.
100%, yes.
Yeah. And as for streaks, Enigma Gamer 77 is on a 500-day achievement win streak. That's 7 years.
What?
It's alright. We just run through my bad math joke. We'll just keep going. This is the theme.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not paying it.
It's about a year and a half.
Yeah, sure.
No, it actually is. Now you're just not believing me. It's about a year and a half.
I'm not believing you. No, absolutely not.
It's not a year and a half.
It's like a year and 2/3. Alright, cool. Sounds good. Some real good milestones there. People earning lots. I mean, I feel like I haven't shown up in those milestones nearly enough recently, so gonna need to fix that.
Yeah, well, you got Kingdom Hearts, so
yeah, so that's not happening.
4,000 game score right there.
Yep. And like I'm gonna say, like it single-handedly dropped me from a completion percentage just by starting the game. Hang on, let me have a look at this, because I was looking at it and was like, I've been working so hard to try and get up to 94%.
How many achievements are in it? It'll drop me half a percentage point.
Yeah.
It's like 200 achievements.
It's 197 achievements. So yeah, I was 160 away from hitting 94%, and now I'm 319. So
yeah, just under half a percentage point. That's how much starting it would drop me. It's ridiculous. All right, and that just
enjoy the race.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, you've accepted now?
Oh, I accepted. It's on.
All right, Cameron, are you going to man up?
Yeah, I'll do it.
No, not Kingdom Hearts. The Rayman Legends.
No.
The actual competition invite I sent you.
Oh.
I don't care about. You're going to beat us to Kingdom Hearts.
Where's this invite?
It'll be in your team messages. Just accept it. That's going to start wrapping up episode 87. If you want to email us questions, hello@realgamerscore.com. Find us on the Twitter @realgamerscore. Or join our Discord, discord.io/realgamerscore. If you want to give us money, do so on Patreon, patreon.com/realgamerscore. Give us lots of money, we love it. In this time of... Okay, it's not like we're asking for $20, right? $20 would be like a full meal, okay? Alright? $20 would be like a full meal.
The minute we start needing to negotiate with our listeners to give us money is the day that we've lost.
All we're asking for is $2.
For $2, right? And you could feed a podcaster a day.
If you don't have $2 to give to the free content that you listen to, you should probably not be listening to the content. You should be out working, earning money, because clearly you're too irresponsible with your money.
Oh no!
All right?
Oh no! No, this is
I'm really hoping everyone is in our Discord and has seen why I'm saying this. That I'm not
one person that won't get the reference, and you just.
It's alright. It's right. The reference will be in the show notes.
That's right. You do the show notes.
Always get updated.
The show notes will be out every week that I do them.
Which is never.
Technically true.
Yeah, so send in a question to any of them, any of those platforms, and we'll endeavour to answer them on the next show. If you want to be on the show, just get in contact with any of us hosts. And we'll set it up. We'll organise it. We got a special guest next week. Look, I'm not going to surprise you with who it is, but let me just tell you, blood is thicker than water. All right.
I feel like next week's going to be a little bit more fair in my favour, though.
No, absolutely not.
I feel like you're still not going to talk very much.
I never do.
I feel like the guest being brand new will still out-talk you on this show. That's the only... Every time I'm in a party with Valak, all I hear is, wow, you really don't let Shadow talk on the show.
And then I usually just say, shut up, Valak.
I'm I'm here for the thoughtful commentary, and
he's here for a
playing.
good time, not a long time.
That's exactly it.
Have you seen the command in the other Discord?
Yes.
That's brilliant. I love that.
I love it.
Okay.
What?
No, I can't say it on the show. I'll tell you afterwards.
Alright.
If you want to help the podcast, subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to right now. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Podbeans, Podgrazer, I don't know. Whatever. Subscribe, rate, review us. Fantastic. Leave a review. Yep. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to grow the podcast. If you like what we do and you want us to keep doing it, help us grow. Simple as that. Tell one person a week. Tell one person in your boosting session to listen to the show, and we'll be golden. Retweet us on Twitter. Cameron has been... I don't know if he's been on fire, but the coals are smouldering. Like, some of them are okay. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Give us money on Patreon. I mean, I understand that that's actually a monetary way to help us and not a non-monetary, but do it anyway.
Yep.
Patreon money.
I mean, all jokes aside, it does help us keep the lights on and run giveaways and that kind of stuff. Like it is like we joke about it.
All of it goes back to the community.
Exactly, it is it pays for running server costs and also giveaways especially, and but we try to give back as much as we can.
How many more photos of Kirby do we need to put up on the Twitter? You tell me. You give me a number, and
we're going to get
deliver.
enough to make a emoji me. We're gonna have,
we've had one already.
You have to assemble
emojis.
Yeah, it's like Voltron.
Yeah. Okay, Cameron. When people want to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
So your best bet's probably the Twitter. Like, once again, I say, Trimmy doesn't have to be the only person messaging me. All the other hosts get those
honestly
emails.
Doesn't even have to be relevant. Trimmies aren't.
Sorry.
Sometimes Cameron just wants someone to talk to.
How's that Downtown Abbey? I'll be just like, the hosts are going to love this, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, we see all of them too, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just great.
Oh, no.
None of my conversations are private anymore. But feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Feel free to hit me up on the Xbox Achievement Community on Facebook. Feel free to hit me up on the Discord, just under the game tag Shadowless now. And then just hit me up on ShadowlessEdge on Xbox or TA. What about you, Matt?
Where can you find me this week? Well, this week, you can probably find me at the end of the knife that I'm going to stab into your back if you ever speak to me ever again. So don't ever speak to me. But if you do have to contact me because you have money or you want feet pics for Patreon, Neomaster on True Achievements or on the Discord. You can boost with me, but if you're not a Patreon, I'm not going to give you any respect. And even if you are a Patreon, it'll only be begrudging respect.
If you're not a Patreon, he'll leave after he's gotten his achievements and not before you've gotten yours.
I mean, yeah.
What if you're Valak?
It'll be good.
I mean, that happens normally, but
yeah,
especially if you're not a Patreon.
But it'll be good for you.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good session. And I can be contacted on Xbox Live, TrueAchievements.com, Discord, Mixer, Twitter, all under the tag at ChinDocta, ChinDocta. Hit me up there. As I said before, I've got my boosting spreadsheet in the boosting looking for group channel on our Discord. I hate to say this, but I trust our Discord. That's an open spreadsheet, so if you want to add a tab on there and put games you would like to boost, think of it as like a boosting list that is local and not on TA, and I don't have to go to 7 different friends to see who wants to boost something. I can just, look on your tab and see what games you have and maybe set up some sessions. Like, I mean, I've only done my 360 stuff at the moment, but I've already got stuff set up for this weekend to knock out some Connect multiplayer. Like, this has helped me way more than just existing in the world, as I was doing before with the achievements I needed to boost. I just existed and hoped someone would want to do one of them. Now you can see what things I need, which, I mean, seeing is half the battle.
Oh, and
the other half is doing it.
That spreadsheet's great.
That's definitely the quote, by the way. And just my shout out for the week of game that I'm definitely shilling for to try and get some help for. If you have Apache Air Assault, for some reason, I need to find some people with that game because it's really bad.
How many people?
It takes up to 4. I've done most of the game myself already, but some of the bonus missions are just too difficult with one person.
Okay. Alright, and that has been episode 87. Thank you so much for listening. It was good for you.